Hello there, Internet. Pale Spaniard here, coming at you with another episode of filler videos until Throne of Eldraine comes out. Hopefully you enjoy. Today we're going to share a deck that I used to reach Mythic rank with in yesterday's stream, and that is none other than Emo Control, aka Orzhov Control, which is a deck that I saw one of the competitors in Twitch Rivals play with, and the deck that really caught my attention the most. I thought it looked very fun to play, and it's a pretty, old school attempt at control. And I say old school, despite the fact that it's not really a proper term to use, but it kind of does feel like that, right? Because ever since Narset and Teferi Time Raveler hit the standard metagame, draw and go control decks have not really been much of a thing. They kind of, left the limelight a little bit, and they've been overtaken by other more proactive slow builds such as J-Rock Field of the Dead or Golo's Gates that play the slow game. They tend to try to outvalue you as the match drags out, but they're more proactive. They focus more on their game plan than on stopping you from doing yours, so they don't really fit into the draw and go control category. It's like something like this would. Generally speaking, when you look at a deck like this, because we have tried Orzhov Control in the past, you would think, well, this is just a inferior version of Esper Control. It's just strictly inferior, right? Like there's nothing that it provides that Esper doesn't. But now that rotation happened, the lack of check lands and, the departure of Teferi Hero Dominaria really does shape things up and make it so that Orzhov can actually provide quite a bit of consistency that Esper cannot. You don't really see much Esper running around in Standard 2020, and there's a reason for that. The lack of Teferi and the lack of checklands really hit the archetype hard, and if you do see some Esper here and there, it will mostly be Hero Preset 1 variants, and they're not even really considered to be that good at all. So what does Orzhov Control do now, and how does it work as a deck? Well, basically, it's a very reactive deck that aims to use the likes of Liliana or Boy Eugene, the Ineffable, as I like to call him, and Commanded Dreadhorde as late-game bombs / win conditions. And then we have Dawn of Hope as our prime source of card draw, which is one of the main things that Orzhov tends to lack. Good card draw. Blue, if you take it out of the equation, you lose out on counter spells, and you lose out on really efficient card draw spells. But Dawn of Hope does make up for that. Doesn't really become too relevant until the very late game, though, when you racked up quite a bit of mana, because it is, despite the fact that it's a 2-mana enchantment, it's hard to really get this thing going without losing too much tempo. In case the opponent's still coming at you hard, you gotta wait out until you can actually get some utility out of Dawn of Hope. That's why we don't run really 4 copies of it. 3 copies is enough, as Dawn of Hope really comes into play in a scenario in which both players have kind of like depleted their resources a bit and are resorting to top decks. That's where this card really does make a difference and can enable you to just draw so much more than your opponent and just overwhelm them with value there. We have single target removal such as Disfigure, Legion's End, Mortify, Oath of Kaya, and of course Prison Realm, which enables us to hit creatures, planeswalkers, enchantments, also damage our opponents directly, and thus gives us a lot of really, flexibility and utility. And of course, AoE spells such as 4 copies of Kaya's Wrath and a 1-off of Cry of the Carnarium, with 4 copies of Basilica Bellhunt, which really make aggro players cry every time, and a 2-off of Cavalier of Dawn, which is one of the most interesting cards in this deck, as for the most part, we actually use this card proactively. And what I mean by this is that we play Cavalier of Dawn to destroy our Oath of Kaya on the board, and therefore generate a 3/3 golem on our side of the field. So for 5 mana, we're getting a 4/6 with Vigilance and a 3/3. And when the 4/6 with Vigilance dies, we get Oath of Kaya back from our graveyard to our hand, which is really nice for a 5-drop that can also, in a pinch, answer anything, single target wise, that's not a land. So if our opponent develops a very, very massive threat, like for example, they play a Chandra Awakened Inferno, we can just deal with it with Cavalier of Dawn and give them a 3/3 that we can easily deal with our plethora of single target removal. And that is the deck list right there. I'll go over the sideboard a little bit, even though, it doesn't really come much into play because it's Standard 2020, so it's not really that relevant because you can only play Standard 2020 in best of 1. But anyways, in case you want to play this in paper or whatever, or you want to look to modify this deck with the upcoming expansion, which I would add in the likes of Murderous Rider in, for example, this sideboard can be important in that scenario, right? Because you have a very, very flexible sideboard that really makes use of cards like Noxious Grasp and the Vile Decree to specialize for specific, color-based matchups, obviously. We have Triple Duress, an extra Legion's Zen on top of that, 2 more Elder Spells, because Jeskai Planeswalkers can be a very tough matchup for us, and it's a pretty popular deck post-rotation. 2 D-Sparks, 1 extra Card of the Carnarium, and 1 Command the Dreadhorde. And that is the deck list right there. The mana base is pretty straightforward, really, and it's a really fun deck. It really is pretty standard when it comes to control gameplay, but it feels good to just deny your opponent's plan, just kill everything, make them cry, and then beat them down with Liliana in the late game. So that is pretty much the deck list right there, and it was definitely good enough for us to reach Mythic rank with. It has a really good matchup, very easy games really versus the likes of aggro decks and mid-range decks too, though it struggles quite a bit against slower decks such as Golos Gates or Jarok Field of the Dead, because those decks tend to outmuscle and outvalue us in the late game. And despite the fact that we are a fan of a slower game plan, the fact that we can really apply pressure to those decks makes us fold to them really easily, so it can be difficult to beat those. But like I said, the deck list was good enough to reach Mythic rank with, and hopefully you guys enjoy the games. And hopefully you guys are excited for Throne of Eldraine content. I'm preparing the deck list. I got a lot of neat ideas, and I'm going to be coming at you with a lot of videos once the expansion hits. I'll be streaming in the streamer event this Tuesday. I'll have access to the expansion a little bit early, and you guys can check me out right there. So yeah, have a solid day. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy the games. I'll see you around. Here comes the DJ. Here comes the DJ. I'll keep that there. Marbooty! Marbooty with the sub for the 4 months. Thank you, Marbooty. I like saying your name, Marbooty. Alright, Jeskai Walkers. This is spooky. Teferi? Of course. But of course.
This might be a bad idea.
We don't really have an answer here. Yeah, getting to Mythic rank with this can be difficult. Because there's just really bad matchups all around. Alright, see, that's a good card to draw, but I'm not really going to use it right now. I'm going to resort to my Basilica Bellhunt here. Can you imagine if they, like, had the audacity to print, like, a 1-mana creature counter spell or something? Like, that would, oh my god, that would be fucking the worst. Because there's so many instances in which you're playing blue and they have 1 open mana and you're like...
Join my cause.
I think Elder Spell may make some sense here. Though,
That's more like it.
actually no. And this is, yeah. Actually, I disagree. I'm gonna go for this.
Seek out others then.
Like, if you want to use the fairies -3 to bounce back Basilica, then be my guest. Alright.
It's us or them. My students are loyal and brilliant.
Cool story, girl. I'm really gonna hold on to my Elder Spell. I'm not feeling any pressure as of right now. Oh, wow.
Trust me, I have a plan.
That must mean he has another Teferi. I could set up the Liliana. I could try to set up the lethal here. In fact, I'm gonna do this.
I require servants. Your corpse will run. What a good, mindless minion.
Who are you? Call me.
Hone your control.
I will call the dragons.
I've learned much from your
dragon
I
does
have
not
learned
lose.
This looks like a fun new toy.
We're close to the ultimate. We gotta do our best to protect Liliana here.
You will feel the lick of my flames.
That's pretty spicy. Five, 8, 11. We're going all in, boys. Oh, mega lol.
Thank me later.
for war.
No, I am not taking this up as I go.
Nice. Well, talking about rough matchups, I mean, they're definitely winnable. I'm scared to do anything. Game is going turbo, guys. I'm gonna drop this Elder Spell, hoping that it's not yet again another Jeskai Super Friends. Okay, good call. We need to find lands. Otherwise, we're fucked. We also need to, for our opponent to not have the Nullhide Ferox for when we try to play this Basilica Belhan here. I mean, I could Legion's End this. But I'd rather Scry. Because maybe my opponent shows me a better target. Okay, he definitely has no other 2-drops. Or he's playing around certain cards. We are going to find out by going for the Legion's End here. Alright. Pretty land heavy hand. Liliana is an excellent win condition in a matchup like this. Oh, okay. I want him to play into that a little bit more. I actually think I want a Kaya's Wrath here. Or maybe preserve the Mortify. I'm just gonna preserve the Mortify. Make him have to expend his... Yeah, this is much better. I want to play this because I want to attack his hand. I want to lure him to commit a little bit more.
Queen Necromancer has a nice ring to it. I do love a good death wail. My army has been destroyed.
I'm gonna hold on to this because this is a free draw for us. Gonna prevent damage that we take, and we're gonna use Dawn of Hope to. Like, he's being smart about not overcommitting. But, you know. Oh my lord, that draw. That draw is just way too sexy.
The undead make great minions. Loyal and silent. Find a use for you later. That to shit. They were a lousy servant anyway.
GG. Yeah, that's kind of like our star matchup, honestly. Yeah, I could have done that. I derped. I definitely derped. Oh god, I took out. Alright. Didn't want to keep the Cry of the Carnarian, but it seems I'm gonna regret it. Oh my god, I'm gonna regret it so hard. Jeez. Jeez Louise. I mean, aren't we dead if we don't, like, play Basilica next turn? Because we're taking 4 to the face. But maybe we can survive because we do have Prison Realm. Okay, I'm going to keep that there. Because we do have another prison realm, so maybe we can live. And once we get Basilica Bellhaunts on the board, we can get going. But we do need...
Death news. Time to go.
In Basilica, we trust. There's nothing we can do. We can block these two. We can gain 1 health in the process, but we still die. Oh, that sucks. GG. He got us. All because I dropped that Cry of the Carnarium. But I mean, I still stand behind it. Like it's a very specific matchup in which, you know, that happens, right? Maybe I should have kept the Cry of the Carnarium. Like obviously in retrospect, you know, obviously, but maybe like for any matchup I should just... What else did I have in my hand? Like the other cards were like more, you know. The problem is like my other cards were like more flexible. I can keep that there. Double Elder Spell. Unfortunately, I don't believe this is a matchup for it. Is this Simic? Flash? Oh boy. We're in for a fun one. Going second versus Simic Flash. McDonald's, I'm loving it. God damn it, dude. Can play Pirate Boy, draw a card, and I don't really. I have 2 like dead Elder spells in my hand, unfortunately. So I can't really. Can't really do anything. He has an unsummon.
My presence alone will guide you towards victory. Truth lies beyond vision. Foolish move.
Okay.
The fabric of the multiverse obeys me. Secrets manifest before you.
Oh! Oh! Wow, with 2 Elder Spells! With 2 Elder Spells in my opening hand, I just beat Simic Flash going second with 2 Elder Spells in my opening hand. Ask me anything. I like this hand though. This is the same guy we faced earlier. The one who managed to just like smork us. Definitely gonna be dropping this. Gonna take down the Midnight Reaper first. We're already running really low on cards. Because board wipes don't exist. They're fake news. Jesus. Instead of going for the Kaya's Wrath, I'm just gonna drop the Dawn of Hope. This Midnight Reaper is the issue, because it's going to enable him to refuel. I don't mind if he draws now, because I do have a Basilica Bellhaunt, so it's unlikely that he's going to be able to play out his entire hand and return Gutter Bones to the field. Five, 6, 7, 8. Now we got the engine. There we go. I'm pretty sure that's the same guy we faced earlier. The one like smoked us. All right, final boss, I believe. And it seems to be mono red, which is a good matchup for us. This Legion's End will not do more than just clear the 1/1, because otherwise he would have played it, unless he's worried about a board wipe. But it will give us information as to what he has. Okay. Okay.
Hey, don't start any fires without me. Don't worry, I brought company. I don't have enough swears right now.
I'm actually just gonna deal with that. Just Elder Spell it. Tuber Tugger! Unfortunately, this Basilica Bellhaunt, it'll force him to play all of his shocks here. If he doesn't want to lose value. Which, you know, I'm okay with. Like, you have to play all of your shocks. Oh, he doesn't. Okay. Why you would not shock me in the face with that one? That's why. Just why? Why? You literally just gave me 2 damage there, buddy. Maybe it wasn't in the deck guide. But I so much for like my final boss from Mythic. Alright. We got Liliana here, but we are gonna enable the Mortify onto that Chandra Spitfire. We want to have a clean 2 creature board state whenever we go for Liliana. Oh, that's annoying. Cry the Carnarium would be fantastic here. Many things would be great, but we gotta make do with what we have. And what we have is Liliana.
My army will envelop this world. Smelly, but
Fortunately for us, Liliana's loyalty is very, very high. So it's going to be difficult for him to tear it down. Unless he top decks something like a, you know, Cavalcade of Calamity. This could very easily be a thing.
ruin my dress. Back off.
Wow.
Death won't conquer me so easily.
We gotta start smorking. That was a nice top deck by my opponent, like exactly the source of damage that he needed.
Not to brag, but I'm totally the best pyromancy student.
Wow. Alright.
Come on, Chandra, remember that spell. Next time, you're toast.
I'm gonna play Pleasant Realm here just to deal with this 1/1 and to start scrying, because Dawn of Hope is definitely a card that I want to draw here. I mean, I can't say no to Kaya's Wrath, right? It's another board wipe. Damn. Unfortunately, this is like very reactive stuff. If my opponent keeps top decking big plays like that, then we're gonna be in trouble. My hand is too reactive. Like I need something proactive here. I have Dawn of Hope. I have Basilica Bellhaunt. I have a lot of things. I want to keep the Mortify in the back. Cavalier of Dawn. Eugene. There we go. I could destroy the Mask of Immolation, but I'd rather make the proactive play here. Destroy my Oath. Get a nice golem for us. And now we got a lot of stats to push damage with. And if we do lose this, okay, we just cannot die. To some calamity nonsense here. Alright. Oh geez, I can see it. Double Scorcher. Okay. Okay. If he plays double Scorcher,
By the designs of an elder dragon.
like there's no doubt that we have to do this. But if he top decks a Scampering Scorcher, that's a total of 6 damage. 6 damage. I can only afford to attack with him. Because a Scampering Scorcher top deck will do me in. Does he want to sacrifice? He can't sacrifice that.
Ether itself serves.
And we got him. Mama, we got him. With a pretty nice trick. Oh my Wamo. Shindaru. Nani! 2 mythic. Oath. 2 mythic, boys. With Orzhov control. Whoosh. The timing. The timing was a little bit off there.